Hare Krishna. Today I would like to address a certain topic, and I hope not to be polemical how I do that. So, in June 1976, in Toronto, Srila Prabhupada spoke with some professors, some scholars, some students of Indology, and so on. And they were asking so many questions about the role of women. At one point, Professor O'Connor specifically asked, can a woman become a guru in the disciplic succession? Srila Prabhupada immediately said, yes. You can hear the tape, there's no hesitation. And then he gives an historical example. Janava Devi was. She was the wife of Nityananda Prabhu. Then, I will try to listen to what exactly Srila Prabhupada says. There is this expression, not so many. Now, I heard different interpretations of this expression. My sincere belief is that it's simply an observation. He's talking about historical reality. He spoke about Janavadevi some 500 years ago. And then he adds, Srila Prabhupada adds, but not so many. In other words, we have historical records for a few dozens women Diksha Guru, which is already extraordinary in the history of the world, because at that time women were not judges, they were not president of countries, prime ministers, or head of corporations. So it was already extraordinary, but relatively to men, there were not so many. Now, many devotees believe that Srila Prabhupada meant a limitation, a restriction on the number of women Diksha Guru. Frankly, this interpretation doesn't make any sense. Why? First of all, we need to see the context of Srila Prabhupada's overall instructions. Less than 3 years before, during his Vyasa Puja celebrations in London, he had requested directly all women, all men, all boys, all girls to become spiritual masters. Throughout his teachings, he said that he wanted all his disciples to become spiritual masters. So it wouldn't make sense now to say something contrary. It will also create a lot of confusion. What does it mean not so many? How many are too many? So I believe that what he meant is simply a description, historical description, not a prescription, not an instruction for the future. Now let's listen, if the video grabs it, to the recording, starting with the question by Professor O'Connell.
Is it possible, Swamiji, for a woman to be a guru in the line of disciplic succession?
Yes. Janavadevi, Nityananda's wife, she began. If she is able to go to the highest perfection of life, why it is not possible to become guru? But not so many. Actually, one who attains the perfection, she can become guru. A man or woman, unless one has attained the perfection, Jai Krishna Tattavita Sai Guru. The qualification of guru is that he must be fully cognizant of the science of Krishna. Then he or she can become guru. Jai Krishna Tattavita Sai Guru. That's what. Is it any prohibition that woman cannot become professor? If she is qualified, she can become professor. But it's wrong.
So, again, there is a lot of confusion, and I saw also sincere devotees, honest devotees who even support wholeheartedly the idea of Vaishnavi Diksha gurus, who become a little bit bewildered by this sentence. Not so many. I repeat, my understanding, my honest understanding, it's a simply an historical observation. He mentioned Janava Devi, therefore he connected to the tradition, and then he says, not so many. There were not so many in the past. One thing we should remember is that those who knew personally and closely Srila Prabhupada knew that if he wanted to establish something in his moment, in ISKCON, he would have made very, very clear. He would have repeated so many times that yes, we can have women Diksha Guru, but not so many. Only say, I'm just saying as a brainstorm, only one every 5 gurus, one every 10 male gurus. He would have really specified what he meant. But the point is that he never meant to restrict the number of women gurus. He simply gave a description of historical facts, that there were not so many in the past. Was never meant as a prescription, was never meant as an instruction, and was never meant as a restriction. But let me know what you think. As usual, please like, comment, ask questions, and subscribe to this channel, the No Dogma Zone. Hare Krishna.